Do you know this man? Chances are many of you may not. So I'll explain who he is. His name is Bertrand Russell. Mr. Russell was a world-renowned atheist who is famously known for stating, "We are hereby a cosmic accident." Because of this statement and many others like it, millions upon millions claim there is no point to life and that we have no worth. Because of this, many regulate their worth into material things. What's even worse is that many more make their own moralistic judgment calls to validate their reasonings behind their choices.
I've decided that I'm a good person and that I deserve good things to happen to me.
Now, at first glance, that doesn't seem like a bad thing, people having morals. However, yet in an immoral world that was allegedly created by a cosmic accident where a supreme deity, i.e. God, does not exist, how do you then invoke a moral judgment? Where does your basis for morality even begin or come from? Because remember, if we are a cosmic accident, you have no worth. So what is there to be moral about? Sadly, many use the belief that life is meaningless. Or if there was a God, then how could he allow the atrocities that we've witnessed throughout present day and history to exist, let alone the ones that are written in the Bible, to validate your choices and decisions? But, as we stated previously, in an atheistic worldview, why would the death and atrocities spoken of in the Bible or any time throughout human history even matter, since we are simply a cosmic accident and there is no true point to our existence? If there is no God, then why is it wrong to steal? If there is no God, why is it wrong to physically assault others or even to end human life? Why is it looked down upon or even considered sexist by many of the proponents against the Bible? Why do they attempt to label the Bible as misogynistic or male dominated in its point of view, in its reference to women being subservient by the proponents against the Bible, which the Bible doesn't even do, by the way? Why does it matter if children get kidnapped or people get trafficked? But the simple fact that it does matter, this whole way of thinking actually invokes a moral law and individual self-worth. The plain fact that people get offended by the simple things that they do in this present age proves that all have a belief and knowledge of self-worth, which proves that individuals are actually taking the very views of the God that they claim does not exist to attempt to debunk his existence, so that they may live as they choose. This actually proves the Apostle Paul correct. In Romans chapter 1, verses 21 through 23, the Apostle Paul answers this. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. For it is written, Psalm chapter 14 verse 1 states that the fool has said in his heart that there is no God. Verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made to corruptible man, and to birds, and to four-footed beasts and creeping things. The simple fact that people have an understanding of individual self-worth and they have the desire to have a moralistic outlook when it comes to doing harm to others, harm to themselves, harm to property, it simply proves that everyone knows that a supreme authority, i.e., God, exists. The problem is, many are simply trying to convince themselves that He does not. So that way they feel justified in living the lives they want to live. This is what happens when people choose to ignore the reality that God exists. They become fools. A fool says in his heart there is no God, and they become what is considered by modern man an atheist. Truth is stranger than fiction. And regardless of how we attempt to hide the fact, it always stays true. Morality and self-worth prove the existence of God. My friends, it's time to wake up.